on the couch in the living room, enjoying a cozy morning together. It was 10 a.m. You turned to Yoongi and said, "Yoongya, how about some snacks and with coffee?" "Sounds good, but I'm not in the mood to leave you." He hugged you tightly, his arms wrapped around you. You chuckled and said, "Yeah, you whipped man, let me go." Yoongi chuckled and released you from his hug. You stood up from the couch to head to the kitchen. But just then, the doorbell rang. You stopped and looked at the door. "Let me see." You said and walked towards the door. Yoongi nodded and rested his head on the couch back. You opened the door to find a delivery boy standing there. "Ma'am, your parcel." You frowned, confused. "Really? But I didn't order something." "It was sent by someone. Let me check the name." The delivery boy checked the parcel and turned to you. "I'm sorry, it seems the client didn't provide their name." You nodded and took the parcel from him. As you walked back to Yoongi, you wondered who could have sent it. As you walked back to Yoongi, you said, "Yoongya, a parcel came for me, but I didn't know who sent it." Yoongi's ears picked up slightly and he turned his head towards you, his expression curious. "Who is it from?" You shook your head, feeling a bit puzzled. "I don't know. There is no name on it." Yoongi's brow frowned slightly and he leaned forward, his hand reaching out as if to touch the parcel. You handed it to him and he ran his finger over the parcel, trying to sense who might have sent it. You decided to open the parcel and see what was inside. As you unwrapped the box, you found a USB drive nestled in the packaging. "It's a USB?" he exclaimed, surprised. Yoongi's eyes may not have seen it, but his curiosity was piqued. "A USB?" he repeated, his voice filled with wonder. "What's on it?" You inserted the USB into the LCD TV and turned it to on. A video started playing, showing you and Suhu walking on a mountain cliff. You heard yourself laugh and say, "Ah, Suhu, help me, I will fall." "Say I love you, then I will help you." Suhu's laughter echoed from the TV speaker, and Yoongi's expression turned serious. His jaw clenched, and his grip on the glass which he was holding tightened slightly as he listened to the video. You gulped to see his expression, because you haven't told Yoongi about your past yet, and this clip makes everything horrible. Soon you flinched badly when Yoongi threw the glass on the TV screen, making it off and fell down. You stood up and went upstairs, living in shock. Suddenly your phone buzzed and your eyes fell on the screen. It's a message from the same unknown ID. How was the surprise, my dear? Now, you closed your eyes and tears fell. Whenever you think everything will be alright, something happened. You slowly stood up, making your way to your room. When you entered your room, you saw Yoongi laying on the bed. His eyes were straight on the ceiling. You slowly went to him and sat beside him on the bed, holding his hand softly. "Yoongi," you said just like a whisper. "I'm sorry I didn't tell you anything about it. Please." "Sorry." Your tears fell, but Yoongi had no expression. You slowly leaned to him and placed your head on his chest, crying. "Please, Yoongi, speak. Don't stay silent. Please shout at me, angry at me, but don't stay silent. When you don't think I'm this much worth sharing anything, then how I have any right to be angry with you?" You looked at him, who was emotionless. "You didn't tell me anything about your past. It's okay, but also lies to me. About your dad, you said you have social anxiety, therefore you didn't come in front of anyone. But the truth was something else. You hid it from me." "No, I didn't want to do this, Yoongi. I just want to live a new life and forget everything. I don't want to hurt you, Yoongi. I'm so sorry. Please, you're so special to me. Please don't say that." You burst out in tears, crying badly, while putting your head on his chest. He wrapped his arm around you and made you lay beside him. You hugged him tightly while burying your face in his chest. And you don't know when you slept there. You opened your eyes, feeling a sharp pain in your head. You sat up on the bed and saw no one beside you. You looked around and wondered where you went. You walked downstairs but didn't find Yogi. You saw your phone in the living room and picked it up. You noticed so many calls from Taeyong. Your heart raced and you immediately called back Taeyong. After a few rings, he picked the call. Taeyong, what happened? Why? Where were you? Why? Taeyong. Yoongi Hyung got into an accident. That's it. Your heart skipped a beat and your body became numb. He is in the hospital. Surgery is carried on. Doctor said he got an injury on head and they are doing surgery. And this surgery has a chance of his sight. Maybe he got his sight back, but the chance is so less. Which hospital? Seoul Hospital. I'm coming. Saying that, you immediately cut the call. You rush towards your car, but before you sit in the car, someone put something in your mouth and everything black out. When you open your eyes, you meet with the sunlight which is coming through window, means it's morning now. You looked around and found yourself on the floor and the room was similar. It's your mother's room. You looked at the bed and found your mother sleeping like before. You didn't understand how you came here and the last incident flashed in your mind. Yoongi was at hospital. You rushed toward the door, but it was locked. You banged the door loudly. But no use, it seems like no one is at home. After banging the door almost 30 minutes, you slowly came towards your mother. Tears were falling down and you sat on the floor, holding your mother's hand. See, Ma, what's happening with me? Why always me? What I did? Ma, please tell me. Why you just give me birth? Why? Ma, please tell me why. I always think everything will be alright, but always things were more complicated. I just want to suffer. Amma, I want my Yoongi, please. I can't lose him now. Please, Amma. I can't lose him now. I will die now. If something happened to him, I will die. Amma, please wake up. Help me, Amma. Now I don't have energy more to fight. I lose, Amma. Please help me. I'm such a loser. I lose again. I don't deserve to live. You cried and put your head on bed while holding your mother's hand. But soon you felt your mother's hand moved. You looked up and again felt the same. Your mother's hand moved. You wiped your tears and shook your mother a little. You felt her eyes are moving and soon your heart dropped when she opened her eyes slowly, adjusting the light. Mama? Your mother looked at you. Ma, you woke up? You exclaimed happily and hugged her. Her emotion was on peak, not understanding how to react. It's the first time in your life you saw your mother moving. Just then, the door got opened and you saw Nai there. First, she was shocked to see you, but when her eyes fell on Mrs. Kim, she becomes more shocked. Mom, Mrs. Kim moved and you helped her to sit with sport of bed. Nari came there and sat on the bed. When? How? I don't know. She suddenly woke up. I should tell Jaehook first. You nodded and Nari called Jaehook, telling him everything. When she cut the call, she looked at you. When you came here, the question must be how I came here. I was going towards Yoongi, but suddenly someone kidnapped me and I found myself here. What? But no one is here from yesterday. I was at my mother's house. Job and Dad had meeting, so they went Paris. And they came today morning, and Winnie hired a photo shoot. Therefore, I was locked here because no one was home. Who did this? How I know? Ryan? I think it's Winnie. She was behaving so weirdly from when she came, and also she wanted to take revenge from me. I don't know why. She's behaving like a psycho. It's me, Winnie was the one who is doing this all. I was right then. You both were speaking and Mrs. Kim looked at you, both confusedly. Ryan? You looked at your mother. Yes, Amma. You grown up so much. Amma, you remember? You were in coma? I remember. I also know everything what happened. Last time when I saw you and your sister, you both were just few days old. Nari and you got found. What? You fell in coma during the delivery, right? No, that's not true. But Dad said us that. because he wanted to hide this. What? Your father is not what he showed. I remember. When you both born, your father's behavior was totally changed. My brother, who was Hajun's lawyer, got that. He is doing illegal work. He told me about this and gave me proof about it. But Hajun found out about it. It was 5 December 9, when you two was just 4 days old. My brother came there as Hajun called him, and they both started arguments. In this all, Hajun started fight. I was upstairs when I heard a loud voice. When I came down, I saw Hajun was covered with blood, and my brother was laying lifeless. I screamed when Hajun noticed me. He ran behind me and I ran upstairs. I slipped on the way of upstairs and then everything blacked out. I was even in coma, but I can hear everything. I know everything what happened around me in these years. Mrs. Kim leaned towards you, pressing your cheek. My child, you suffered a lot. That is true? Father did this all? That's when he hopped inside the room and stopped to see his mother. He ran to her and hugged her while crying loudly. Nari cursed his back. You two were stunned to hear the truth. It's unexpected. What you all know was just lie. Just then you remember about Yungi. You immediately stood up and ran out. Nari called you, but you didn't stop. On the other side, Yungi was sitting on the bed. His eyes was covered with bandage. Are you okay, Hayong? Where is Mayan? I called her last night. She said she's coming, but she didn't. Yungi sighed, and then doctor came there. He checked the reports and smiled. Let's unbandage your eyes. Did he got his sight? We don't know, but we will find out when we unbandage it. Tai nodded. The nurses started unbandaging Yungi, and he wanted to see you first, but there is no news from you. Just then, the bandage removed from his eyes. Doctor instructed him to open his eyes slowly. Yungi slowly opened his eyes. He adjusted the sudden light and then he opened it. Yungi slowly opened his eyelids fluttering as he gradually regained conscience. Taeyong and the doctor were anxiously waiting beside him, their faces filled with anticipation. The surgery had been a success, but the question on everyone's mind was, had Yungi regained his sight? As Yungi's eyes fully opened, he was met with a kaleidoscope of colors. He blinked rapidly, taking in vibrant photos of the world around him. He looked around the room. His gaze finally landed on Taeyong's beaming face. Taeyong! Yungi's eyes widened in wonder as he took in Taeyong's features. You are so handsome. The doctor and Taeyong chuckled at Yungi's words. Taeyong's eyes filled up with tears as he emotionally hugged Yungi, his voice shaking with joy. Hayong, I'm so happy. Hayong, you can see now. Yungi's face lit up with a radiant smile as he hugged Taeyong back, his eyes shining with happiness. The room was filled with the warmth of their embrace. The air was thick with emotion. Just then, you came there and looked at Yungi. You ran to him and hugged him, but Yungi pushed you. Who are you? Yungi, it's me, you're Ryan. Yungi looked at you, holding your hands, but then he again pushed you. You're not Ryan. Do you really think you can fool me, Winnie? Winnie's expression changed. When I was blind, I can recognize my Ryan just from her scent and her touches. And you thought you can fool me? Just then, Yungi heard a voice from behind Winnie. They all turned and saw you there. Your eyes was filled with tears. Your legs became numb and you slowly walked. Ryan? You suddenly ran to Yungi and jumped on him, hugging him. Yungi immediately wrapped his arm around you. Tai and doctors came out from the room along with Winnie, whose plan was just run. You cried and Yungi cupped your face and placed many kisses all over your face. I can see you. I can see your face. My Ryan, I can see you now. Saying that, Yungi again hugged you and cried loudly. You suddenly sprinted towards Yungi, your heart overflowing with joy. You leaped into his arms, wrapping your arm around him in a tight embrace. Yungi instinctively encircled you with his arms, holding you close as you both tumbled onto the bed. The truth finally came to light when Mrs. Kim provided evidence to the police, leading to the arrest of Mr. Kim Ha-jun, CEO of Kim Industry. He was charged with illegal activities and murder, and subsequently sentenced to life in prison. Winnie, who had been involved in illegal work with her father, was also arrested and charged. However, during the investigation, it was also discovered that she had mental health issues and was sent to a mental hospital for proper treatment and care. As the truth about Wine's past came to light, it was revealed that she had been treated cruelly by her father and had lived in darkness because of his actions. The investigation brought to light the extent of the trauma and suffering she had endured. 3 months had passed since the truth came to light, and you had been wanting to meet your sister, Winnie, who was now in a hospital dress, separated by a glass wall. You wanted to forget the past and start anew, but Winnie's anger and resentment still lingered. Winnie glared at you, her eyes blazing with fury. You, because of you, I'm here. I will burn you, Wine. I will destroy you. You will pay for what you did. She shouted, her voice echoing off the glass wall. The hospital staff rushed in to calm Winnie down, but she continued to shout and struggled against them. You watched, saddened by your sister's pain and anger. I want to forget everything, my sister, you said, your voice barely above a whisper. But I think you can't forget. With that, you picked up your bag and walked outside, where Yoongi was waiting for you in the car. You smiled weakly and got in beside him. So, what happened? Yoongi asked, concern etched on his face. You signed, same as always. She wants to destroy me. Her condition is getting worse. Yoongi put his hand on yours and smiled, reassuring. Let's go. Everyone is waiting for us. Jacob called me almost 20 times. You smiled, feeling a sense of relief and gratitude towards Yoongi. You knew you could always count on him to be there for you. As you drove away from the city, the scenery changed to rolling hills and lush green fields, where farmers were working. The village life was a stark contrast to the city's hustle and bustle. The car stopped in front of a beautiful house, and you both got out, stretching your legs. Walking behind the house, you saw everyone gathered around a dining table in the garden, surrounded by breathtaking views of the green fields and mountains. Taeyong, Jaehoop, Nari, Mrs. Kim, and Anabi were all chatting and laughing. Jaehoop teased, "You two are late." You playfully blamed Yoongi. "It's not my fault. This cat-faced man forgot the way." Yoongi defended himself. "How is it my fault when Google Maps lead me astray?" Okay, no fighting. Sit down already. Did you meet with Winnie? You nodded, but your expression turned sober, and everyone understood. Just then Nari arrived with a delicious-looking cake, and the mood shifted to excitement. "Make way, I'm coming with cake," Nari announced, and everyone cheered. Taeyong exclaimed, "Oh my god, strawberry cake! Don't eat it all, leave some for us, Tai." The lunch was filled with fun, laughter, and beautiful moments. A perfect day with loved ones in a serene setting. No, among us, only Tai is single. Tai, you should find someone for yourself too. Who said I'm the only single on here? Anabi is single too, right Anabi? Anabi chuckled and replied, "Huh? It's not the right time for me to find someone. I'm almost 50. That's a perfect age, Anabi. People marry at 70s these days." Everyone burst out laughing at Tai's joke, and Anabi playfully rolled her eyes. Tai continued to tease Anabi. "Come on, Anabi, you're not too old to find love. We will find someone for you." Anabi laughed and shook her head. "You are impossible, Tai." The group continued to enjoy their lunch, filled with laughter and playfully banter. As the lunch continued, everyone was enjoying themselves, laughing, chatting. Suddenly Nari stood up and announced, "I have some news to share." Everyone looked at her curiously, and then she said, "I'm pregnant."
The table erupted in screams of excitement and happiness. Everyone was congratulating Nari and hugging her. As the news of Nari's pregnancy sank in, J-Hope suddenly realized, wait, I'm going to be a dad? The area fell silent and all eyes were on J-Hope. He looked stunned, his eyes wide with a mix of shock and excitement. Yoongi burst out laughing. J-Hope, you're going to be a dad. I can't believe it. J-Hope is going to be a dad. Congratulations, J-Hope and Nari. Yes, you will be a great dad, J-Hope. J-Hope, you're going to have a mini me running around. Nari smiled sleepily. J-Hope, you're going to be the best dad ever. As the celebration continued, J-Hope suddenly stood up and announced, I need to make a phone call. Everyone looked at him curiously, but he just shrugged and said, I have to share the news with someone. He walked further, phone in hand, and dialed the number. After a brief moment, he exclaimed, Bro, I'm going to be a dad. The area fell silent, wondering who J-Hope was talking to. Suddenly they heard a loud scream of excitement. It's Jungkook, my brother. Nari exclaimed laughing. J-Hope is sharing the news with Jungkook. The group burst into the laughter, imagining Jungkook's reaction. J-Hope walked back inside, grinning from ear to ear. What did Jungkook say? J-Hope chuckled. He screamed, I'm going to be an uncle, and then proceeded to cry happy tears. Everyone laughed, picturing Jungkook's emotional reaction. And the celebration continued. J-Hope couldn't stop smiling, still in shock but thrilled about becoming a dad. The group cheered and raised their glasses in a toast to J-Hope and Nari's growing family.